Well, if he's lucky, he's prepared, he can get both, the title and the money.
We'll see what happens. So Wayne Alexander hopes to snatch the title from Harry Simon in our main event later tonight. But our co-feature spotlights homegrown Michael Gomez, a fighter with an intriguing background. Born in Ireland, raised in England, his real name is Armstrong. But when he registered to fight here, there already was another Michael Armstrong, and the British Boxing Board doesn't license boxers with the same name. So he changed his surname to Gomez in tribute to boxing great Wilfredo Gomez of Puerto Rico, his idol. He wears his trademark Mexican sombrero into the ring, and he's become a fan favorite here in the UK.
I'm from Ireland, and my real name's Michael Armstrong. I was born in Longford and brought up in Dublin. When I started fighting, I loved a Puerto Rican fighter called Wilfredo Gomez. Instead, I started trying some moves out in the gym, like his left uppercut. He had a brilliant left uppercut. I started trying the left uppercut out, and one day, messing about, just nicknamed me Gomez. And it just stuck from there. I started to wear the sombrero just as a joke at first. One of my mates just done it. My mate didn't know like anything much about boxing. He just knew I was coming out, an Irish fighter, white as a ghost, coming out with a Spanish name, Mexican name. So he just wore a sombrero, and because he wore one, and they got a little bit of publicity out of it, I started wearing one. And then when I started wearing one, everybody was wearing one. They throw him into the ring to me. I've got like I bought a new house, and in my house there, we have to have a spare room for just Mexican hats. I've got absolutely the biggest collection of sombrero hats you could believe.
All right, Bobby, Michael Gomez, a streetwise character who really has been doing a great job.
You know, Steve, there were some stories about Gomez's childhood being very, very unkind to him. A lot of hardship, not a lot of happiness. And sometimes that leaves a hard, rough edge inside some of the fighters. If he can take that and harness that frustration and that pain and use it to his advantage in the ring, it might make something out of his life in the boxing game.
And, of course, he's in a very talented and compelling division these days at 130 pounds. As we stand by for Michael Gomez, we'd like to invite your Showtime subscribers with internet access to log on to Show.com, where you can find out more about tonight's fighters. Show.com is the home of fighter bios, records, and information on upcoming Showtime Championship boxing telecasts. In addition, you can find out more about your favorite Showtime original programming and series. Once again, the address is show.com. That's SHO.com. On deck, British 130-pound champion Michael Gomez. There he is, a big favorite here in England. The Irishman with the Puerto Rican name and the Mexican sombrero.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for the WBO Intercontinental Junior Lightweight Championship bout. Join me in welcoming the boxers as they make their way to the ring. First, the challenger from Hungary, introducing Laszlo Bognar.
Laszlo Bognar, who is a southpaw, took this fight on 6 days' notice. Didn't arrive here until yesterday afternoon. Represented Hungary at the 92 Barcelona Olympics at 119 pounds. Lost in the first round, made it to the second round of the World Championships a year later at 125. He's 25-3-2, 11 knockouts as a pro, not rated. Won a fringe title at 126, fought mostly in his native Hungary. Second fight in England. The first, not a pleasant memory, a first-round TKO loss in '99, a draw and a win since. Bobby, like most fighters from his area, he's strong and durable, but we're informed he lacks punching power and quickness.
Usually when you lack a little bit of speed, quickness, you have a little extra power, but he doesn't have power or speed, and that adds up to getting a heck of a beating if he doesn't have a perfect defense. So he could be in for a very long night. The only 3 losses he had are all by stoppage. This could be number 4.
Averages about 6 rounds per fight. Went the 12-round distance just once. Back we go to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the ring here is the defending champion from Manchester, England, Michael Gomez.
A very determined-looking Michael Gomez with the sombrero took this fight on less than 3 weeks' notice. His fans out in full force wearing the Mexican hats, and he'll come into what else? The Mexican hat dance. We may have to restrain Bobby Ches here just a bit. Man loves to dance. Michael couldn't pass up the American TV exposure. That's why he took this on short notice. Also, despite 5 stitches and a nasty eye wound from his last fight in December, his trainer, Brian Hughes, has doubts, but Gomez says the show must go on. Hasn't lost since September of '97. He's won 19 straight. Born in the backseat of a car, abandoned as a child. Became a father at 16, acquitted of manslaughter stemming from a nightclub fight. Tough kid from the streets who has survived. He's matured to become a responsible parent and a solid boxer. Not your typical European in the ring, Bobby. Fast starting, aggressive style, good mobility. Offense is his best defense.
Well, anybody who has a good offense, it's the best defense. Because 2 things are happening with a good offense. You're scoring and winning, and you're keeping your opponent's hands tied up, putting him on the defense. A great way to win.
Got off to a rough start, 4-3, but unbeatable since. As we check the numbers, let's go to the tail of the tape. Gomez nearly 10 years younger than Bognar, who turns 33 in just 2 weeks. The height all even. Slight reach advantage for Bognar. At yesterday's weigh-in, Gomez right on the mark. Bognar just under. And the key rules for this marginal championship fight. There's no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. If an accidental headbutt occurs before the end of the 4th round, the fighters rule the no contest. If it happens after the end of 4, why, they go to the scorecards. So here at the Kingsway Leisure Center in Widnes, England, we are getting ready for Michael Gomez versus Laszlo Bognar for the WBO Intercontinental Junior Lightweight Championship. Very enthusiastic crowd on hand here at the Leisure Center as we are set for the formal introductions from our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you from Widnes, England. This big night of action is brought to you by Frank Warren Sports Network, Sky Sports, and Showtime Championship Boxing, as sponsored by Red Square and SportingBet.co.uk. This bout is sanctioned by the World Boxing Organization, the president, Francisco Valcarcel, supervisor Charles Giles, along with the British Boxing Board of Control. The steward in charge is Dennis Lockton. Our physician at ringside, Dr. David Sim. Timekeepers at the bell, also keeping count of the knockdowns. We have Colin Roberts and Barry Pinder. Introducing to you our 3 judges scoring this bout from ringside. From Hamilton Square, New Jersey in the United States, we have Frank Cairo. From West Palm Beach, Florida in the United States, Michael Pernick. And from Derby, England, Paul Thomas. And our 3rd man to the ring, the referee in charge of this bout, from Tottenham, England, Dave Perez. All right, fans, here we go. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBO Intercontinental Junior Lightweight Championship. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world from Widnes, England, it's showtime! Introducing to you first, ladies and gentlemen, the challenger on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing blue trunks with white trim, joining us from Zolnok, Hungary. He weighed in at 9 stone, 3.5 pounds, or 129.5 U.S. pounds. With a record of 25 wins, 3 losses, and 2 draws, he has 11 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the challenger, Laszlo Bognar. And his opponent across the ring on my right, ready to fight in the blue corners, the defending champion, wearing black trunks with multicolored trim, fighting out of Manchester, England, by way of Dublin, Ireland. He weighed in at 9 stone, 4 pounds, 130 U.S. pounds. His record stands at 23 wins, 3 losses, with 13 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the WBO Intercontinental Junior Lightweight Champion, known as the Predator, introducing Michael Gomez. Once again, the 3rd man of the ring, Dave Paris, now to give instructions.
Okay, boys, I'll give you instructions in the dressing room. Shake hands, boys. Good luck, you boys. Come on, shake hands, shake it up.
The workman-like Michael Gomez, not a big KO guy, delivers in bunches, no nonsense. He'll get right to it, loves to attack the body, and has a good chin. He's never been down. The southpaw Laszlo Bognar, a little more experienced than Gomez. We'll see about the skills. Only 11 of his 25 wins by knockout. No first-round KOs. We'll see how competitive Bognar is against the very busy, active Michael Gomez, who looks to out-hustle, outwork, and out-tough his opponents.
Yeah, Gomez said he's going to get right to it and make him fight and see what he's got. Right now he's got a nice southpaw stance. Stands pretty straight up. Good tight defense so far.
Gomez always in great condition, intelligent fighter. Confidence has been a problem. Only recently begun to really truly believe in himself. Well, that's all he knows about Bognar is that he's a southpaw.
Usually it's helpful to know a little bit more than that.
Indeed. And he said he didn't want to feel out Bognar. He's going to go right to it and pressure him from the start, work him up and down, get it over with fast. In the same breath, he said, but even though Bognar doesn't have a good knockout percentage, you can't take chances, so he's being a little cautious.
Bognar right now is using a nice jab to keep Gomez off. Gomez wants to get inside, throw those hooks to the body, bring it up on the inside, but right now he's being stuck on the outside.
Big thing here, he told us, Gomez, is that he really wants to show that he's worthy of being #1. He wanted to get that across to us yesterday when we met with him. He's fought in the U.S. in '99 on the Briggs-Francois Botha fight, but realizes the importance of the American TV exposure tonight. Gomez 23-3 with 13 knockouts, going for 20 in a row. Bognar 25-3-2 with 11 knockouts.
Bogner's very methodical. When he puts that jab out there, it's almost the exact same motion. He doesn't give different angles. Pretty much straight in and straight out.
His 3 losses, all by TKO out of 30 fights. He has only the 3 defeats. Won something called the WBU International 126-pound title in '96. His only 12-round distance fight. Lost the WBU 122-pound title fight in '97. And lost to the WBA Intercontinental 130-pound title in '99. That was a first-round TKO here in England, so he doesn't have good memories there. This fight getting off to a bit of more of a slower start than I had anticipated after talking with Gomez and hearing what he had to say yesterday. I thought it was going to be more fast-paced from the outset.
And I got the distinct impression from Gomez he thought he was going to be a little more effective here early on.
I can only wonder if the awkward southpaw style might be one of the reasons.
What's you into it, Michael? Stop it now. Come on. Right, stop rushing in now, you're catching. You're giving him too much room, right? Just, right, listen to me, listen. You're giving him too much room, so you're letting him get his jab off. You've got to come inside, throw your jab and go on the outside of him.
Well, you just heard from Brian Hughes in the Gomez corner. Adam File, the trainer for Laszlo Bognar, who opted not to wear the microphone, so the British Boxing Board of Controls does not allow those boom mics in there, so we cannot hear what's going on. Well, Bognar escaped round 1 relatively unscathed. We headed to round 2, scheduled for 12.
Yeah, Gomez came out early in the first round and dominated the first 30, 45 seconds. But Bognar held his own, boxed pretty smart, got some nice combination of his own, a pretty even round.
There's that right jab by Bognar, does not follow it up with a left hand. Gomez coming forward, pressing. Going for the body with the left, but held back, one and done by Michael Gomez.
Gomez, for a tall, thin guy at 130, really crouches low and comes in very low for a tall fighter with reasonable reach.
130, has a 67 inch reach. Bogner's reached just an inch 4. But Gomez is, we pointed out, just workmanlike, not a big knockout puncher. As you can very well see.
You see that traditional European jabbing arm out there for Bognar. He keeps it out there. It's a feeler, it's a point getter, as well as a bit of a defense.
On a media conference call for this fight, a Spanish writer from Los Angeles started talking to Gomez about tonight's fight in Spanish. Gomez said, "I don't speak Spanish." The writer said, "How could that be? Your name is Gomez."
Yeah, that's one of the cute stories that'll circulate for a while.
Pretty good combination to the head by Bognar.
No response from Gomez. He just allowed that combination to get off. No response.
Bognar, as you can see, very straight up, straight in, typical European fashion. Not known for his speed, but trying to be accurate with those head punches. But they're bouncing off the top of Gomez's head. There's a good combination to the head that got the attention of Gomez.
Not throwing very hard punches, but he's throwing enough of them. And he walked into a big left hook.
Bognar scoring a lot more here in round 2 than Gomez. Gomez missing wildly with the left hook. Remember, Bognar took this fight on less than a week's notice. Gomez less than 3 weeks. Gomez with the shamrock in his hair, carved out the back of his head. Originally from Dublin, Ireland, now living in nearby Manchester, England. This has been around for Bognar.
Combinations have been doing it, Steve. He's throwing punches and bunches. He's outworking a workman, Michael Gomez.
So this is a surprising start.
With you. Michael, stop rushing. You're like somebody out of control now. Stop it. You're going to get stopped here if you don't stop it now. Michael.
Come on, Mike, you're not thinking now, listen.
Hands up high, come on. Right, listen to me, Michael. Them hands have got to be up high. You're checking serious.
Making Gomez miss and pay. Slips the hook, comes back in with 3, 4, 5, 6 punches. Not hard, fairly accurate, but on the money, points winning. And Bognar keeps it going. Jabs in his face to right down the middle with a straight left hand, finishing off the round strong. Started good, had some good middle ground, and finished it with a smile. Boxing smart, boxing well. Making Gomez look bad.
Take your time.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the mat, Gomez's trainer, Brian Hughes, very displeased with the performance thus far by Michael Gomez.
He went so far as to say, if you keep that up, he'll stop you in a few rounds. I thought that's a little bit shocking for a trainer to say to his fighter.
Using scare tactics on Gomez. Bognar making Gomez miss and then making Gomez pay.
See, the type of style that Gomez has, too, he can't fight going backwards. And yet, Bognar can. Bognar can fight going backwards. He fights better coming forward, but Michael Gomez cannot fight going backwards.
Bognar fighting as if he has studied the tapes of Michael Gomez. He has been the more effective of the two. He just walked into a straight right by Gomez.
It was a nice lead right hand, but no hook following, no body work, nothing behind it.
Gomez being frustrated by the southpaw Bognar, who wheels away nicely. And then comes forward, but not much behind those punches.
You'll notice, too, that Bognar throws a combination, and then he pushes Gomez back. That's not really legal, and the referee hasn't said a thing as of yet.
Dave Parris of Tottenham, England, the third man of the ring.
Anyone that fights Gomez will find a good jab is one of the keys to victory because he leaves his head so often, and he does not have a lot of speed defensively or offensively.
Anytime Gomez does anything remotely, the crowd will react. He missed with that left and missed with the right, did Gomez. Gomez perhaps underestimating the elusiveness and defense of Bognar. So far, he's been able to get away from most of his punches.
Gomez sure does look like, as I look in his eyes, he's trying to figure out Bognar is having a problem. Thus far, I don't think this is the type of fight that's going to increase his confidence at all.
Continues to have his difficulty in solving the southpaw.
For taking the fight on such short notice, Bognar looks to not be breathing heavy, not have any problems with fatigue. His legs look good, his arms look good.
Closing seconds of the third round. Can't believe that Brian Hughes will be happy once again. We're here at the Kingsway Leisure Center in Widnes, England. Excellent crowd on hand in this intimate setting. Coming up next, our main event, the WBO Junior Middleweight Championship, featuring Namibian Harry Simon and England's Wayne Alexander. We'll take you into the dressing room of the challenger, Wayne Alexander. Yesterday morning, he was still getting ready for his defense of the British 154-pound title in 2 weeks when he received a call about changing his plans to fight instead for the WBO junior middleweight title. By the way, he was told it's in less than 22 hours. He got in his car, off he went from Croydon to Widnes, and now getting closer to Harry Simon.
Hands up high now, no going mad. No going mad, Michael.
It is round number 4. A very rugged start for the local product, Michael Gomez.
Gomez has to work him behind the jab. He hasn't really established any jab at all. He's leaping in with big shots, right hands, leads. A couple of them should work, and with southpaws they can work, but he needs to work him behind the jab, double, triple, back Laszlo up, and take a shot.
Bognar going to the body with the straight left hand, did not follow it up with the right. Now Gomez beginning to follow up, but missing. Bognar's been getting off first. And let's see if Gomez can counter effectively. Again, right there, but nothing doing for Gomez. Bognar scoring.
Again, if you watch, when Gomez comes in, he doesn't work him behind the jab. He just tries to slip on his way in. Laszlo Bognar throws quick punches, not real hard. It's hard to slip all those punches and counter. Just walk through, stuff some, and fire. Again, you'll see Gomez just walking in, bobbing and weaving, but not throwing any punches. Steve, you can't win without punching.
Midway round 4. It has thus far been an ineffective performance by the favorite Michael Gomez. A twisting right uppercut on the break by Gomez. Right on the chin.
He's his best puncher of the round.
Let's see if it gives him some impetus here. Not the case, as he stands back and admires his opponent. I want to extend a thank you to our broadcast partners here in England at Sky BTV. We appreciate their assistance and cooperation in this production.
Here's a perfect case where a last-minute substitute can throw your entire fight plans and fight game right off and out the window.
Good right hand that landed by Gomez.
He needs to follow up, Steve. He can't let it be one and done.
And then he just spins Bognar into the ropes. Again, Gomez walking into a straight right hand by Bognar. Gomez just 23, still learning. A work in progress.
This is a kind of experience that money can't buy. but it's also sometimes painfully frustrating.
Gomez has gone the 12-round distance 3 times, including his last fight, a decision over Ian McLeod to win the British title. But he is struggling here tonight against the Hungarian.
Young Michael, get working on that body. You understand me, son? Mike, you understand what I'm saying? You're getting to him now, you're hurting him. Right, don't take them little side steps off are lovely. Think of what you're doing now and just chop over to the side. Nice deep left now.
Gomez getting a little desperate, starting to unload up with some of the shots, trying to turn the tide. Left hook and a big right hand. Best punch of the round and the fight probably for him. But that's pretty much all he really did that was effective in that round. 1 or 2 body shots got in. Everything else, Bognar was able to tie him up on the inside and make him very ineffective. Here's another look at the left hand right. The right hand lands very cleanly on the tail end, but not too much after that. Bognar's able to get away. Very elusive, very quick on his feet. Got pretty good hands too as far as speed.
A frustrated Michael Gomez has been bogged down here by Laszlo, and this crowd here at the Kingsway Center expected more from Michael Gomez. A bit subdued thus far. Now Gomez attacking the body, but I counted 1 punch.
Well, there were a couple punches, but not everything landed. And again, once he goes there, he almost crowds himself so much that he can't punch. And then Laszlo ties him up.
The crowd just waiting to erupt. But so far, they just haven't had any reason. A lot of movement by Gomez, but not throwing any punches. Now he finally unloads, but soft punches to the belly. Now a good left uppercut to the chin by Gomez. But that was it, Bobby, as you would say. He didn't follow it up.
He really needs to throw more punches, be much more of a workman. He likes to fight, he likes to work, he likes to stay busy. Tonight, he's not doing it.
I know he's had some distractions coming into this fight, perhaps weighing on his mind.
See, all that bobbing and weaving, Steve, without firing and getting off is wasted energy and just wasted movement. He needs to make that move and then make a punch. Make a move and throw another punch, slip something and fire.
The left hand that tagged Bognar on the head. He missed with the right, Gomez.
He's leaping in from the outside quite a bit. He's not working his way in. And it's costing him.
Sustained attack by Gomez, who goes to the body again. Both fighters beginning to look a little bit weary now. Good right-left combination to the head by Bognar. Very loyal fans behind Gomez here. We don't hear any of the boo birds as of yet, or whistlers as they usually do here in England.
Nice 4-punch combination by Bognar. And Gomez picked his head up and caught every one of them dead in the mouth.
Gomez coming forward, pressing. Oh, a body shot down goes Bognar, Bobby.
It was a beautiful left hook to the body. Something he's supposed to be doing, and then cut over the right eye of Bognar as well.
A nasty cut. A nasty cut by the right eye of Bognar. The referee, Dave Parrish, has come forward, and they continue now. Gomez, like a shark, smelling the blood.
The left hook to the body. That'll stop that movement. That'll stop those legs.
A body shot sending Bognar down for the first knockdown of the fight. So a difficult end to that last round for the Hungarian, Laszlo Bognar, who not only got dropped on a body shot, but also a vicious cut around his right eye. So they're going to have to do some speedy work in the corner of Laszlo Bognar.
Power is the best equalizer in the business. Speed is great. That one-punch power is the best. Laszlo has double trouble as he takes that vicious headbutt, opening up that gash over his right eye. And he seems to be fiddling with that eye a little bit, backing up to the ropes, and he leaves his rib cage open as Gomez drops him to his knees with a great left hook. Close-up look at it, you'll see a left hook right underneath the ribs, behind the elbow, and down goes Laszlo. He was on the floor nonetheless.
So round 6 now. Let's see if Gomez can pick up where he left off and take advantage, fighting furiously with a sense of urgency now. Gomez, after a very uninspiring, lackluster start, coming on strong all of a sudden.
I gave the first round to Gomez by the slightest of margins. The next 3 were all for Bognar, but now Bognar lets the fight get evened up by taking a bit of the canvas and tasting.
We'll see how the eye cut holds up for Bognar. Again, solid body shots by Gomez.
But they were blocked because he was so blatant with those shots. He telegraphed them from a mile away, Steve.
Bognar showing a lot of will, hanging very tough despite this sudden adversity.
Another one of those body shots made it through with the right side this time, not left hook.
Oh, a good right hand by Bognar, but Gomez keeps coming forward and presses Bognar into the corner rope. Bognar's face becoming a mess, but he is coming forward and sending Gomez back. A lot of heart being displayed by the Hungarian. Oh, a good left hand, a lead left by Bognar that scored.
That was a beautiful combination. He threw the lead left and he came back with a right hook and a left hand.
So Bognar coming back after being knocked down late in round 5. But now here's a left uppercut to the jaw by Gomez. Back comes Bognar, who shows the courage. Blood streaking down from the right eye of Bognar.
You see with that style, the way he has his head down, Gomez just banged his head into the face of Laszlo twice.
A minute remaining in round 6, scheduled for 12. Gomez certainly has to respect Bognar. Under 30 seconds in round 6. Things have slowed down considerably after a fast pace. Gomez looking tired, resting his chin on the shoulder of Bognar for the moment.
He's still trying to work that body too, Steve. He's not worried about both. I think what he needs to do is start at the body and work his way up.
So again, Laszlo Bognar being talked to by his trainer, Adam File. Again, we are not allowed to have those boom mics in here under British Boxing Board of Control rules. And the trainer there refused to be mic'd, so we can't really hear what they're saying, but you can pretty much figure it out.
You'll probably figure out they tell him to stay off the ropes, keep the fight in the middle of the ring, work the jab and the straight left hand down the middle. It's very effective. And we'll take a look right down the middle. There's the left hand, there's a right hand, and another left hand. Again, right down the middle, cutting right through the defense of Michael Gomez. That's what he wants to do.
A little blood on the forehead of Gomez.
Bognar's got real quick hands, and you see the way Gomez just bends over, sometimes puts his head right in the way. Bognar obliges by combinations.
Now that could be a pretty deep cut above Gomez's hairline, probably a result of the accidental butt that opened a cut by Bognar's right arm. Could have come simultaneously, but it just took a while to open up for Gomez. Round 7, and things getting a little more dramatic now. Gomez missing wildly with the left. I wonder if Bognar's a little more than Gomez bargained for here. Perhaps underestimating him.
Well, right now it's a very, very, very close fight either way. And It's going to probably stay that way down the stretch. Attrition should be a factor. The edge should go to Gomez there because he didn't take this fight in 6 days' notice. He's known about it for almost 3 weeks.
Gomez was cut badly in his last fight. In fact, they weren't even sure he might be allowed to fight here just 2 weeks ago because of that cut. Gomez coming forward. Bognar again, very game.
One thing I do like about Bognar, I like the way he keeps his hands up. Reminds me of Ricardo Lopez. Keeps his hands high all the time.
He looks well schooled, obviously the typical European type fighter. Good right hand, straight right by Gomez. Right on the nose.
Right down the middle, lead right hand, something that many Orthodox fighters will use against the southpaw.
Well, he certainly solved the southpaw puzzle there, but not doing it frequently enough. Nice left uppercut to the chin by Bognar as blood continues to come down the right side of his face. Rabbit punching by Gomez, being cautioned by Dave Parrish.
It kind of spun him all the way around, wound up behind him, and just was swinging wildly and hit him in the back of the head.
Gomez just walking into a lead right.
He's deceiving too. On the way in, Gomez, he wades in without throwing punches. And some of those punches he eats, like those two, those are points scoring for Bognar.
Overall, this has not been Gomez's night. If you're just tuning in, the favored #1 WBO 154-pound contender against the guy Bognar in the blue who's scoring here, took this fight on 6 days' notice. Bognar looking tired, his hands down low. Now he raises them a la Ricardo Lopez. I should say 130 pounds. The bell to end round 7.
You're going to get paid. Stop it.
No.
Move back, move back, move back.
Head back.
Right.
Do you want to drink, Michael?
Yeah.
Open your mouth.
I'll leave you. No, you're
Michael,
all right.
come on, get your act together. Start sharpening yourself up. We'll be flopping back to the corner like that.
Come on, you look beaten, man. Stop it.
Right, man.
You've got to use your head. I know you're shattered now. You either come out or you carry on.
Man.
You please yourself. You've got to do what you're told, Michael. You're leaving yourself wide open.
Head back. There's the back line.
Come on, man. You're winning it easy if you don't throw it away. Hands up high. Yeah. Michael, get control of yourself.
Brian Hughes getting all over Michael Gomez in that corner as Laszlo Bognar is winning this fight from this vantage point. Round 8.
You know what, Steve? Right now, I actually have Laszlo Bognar up 4 rounds to 3, but with the knockdown, it's an even fight on the score from my point of view, but momentum is clearly in Bognar's corner. Gomez's corner his trainer was pleading with him as if he knows that Gomez has much more than this. He's not bringing it to the table. He said, listen, either come out of here or go fight the fight you know how to fight.
Brian Hughes just kept telling Michael Gomez, you've got to get control of this fight. Earlier, in the very early going, he was threatening Gomez with stopping the fight. Of course, that is probably just shock therapy. Gomez, the WBO Intercontinental champ, British junior lightweight champ. He's made 3 defenses. The #1 WBO 130-pound contender, rated #8 by the WBC, but not fighting like a top contender here.
Now, his stock will definitely not go up. He's not going to prove to anyone he's worthy of a top ranking of #1 with this performance, Steve. It's just that simple.
A leaping left hook to the head by Gomez, but then he just grabbed Bognar in a clinch.
See, he leans forward, almost leans right into the punches, putting his chin right in the way of uppercuts, jabs, and hooks.
Bognar was down at the 2:31 mark of round 5 from a left hook to the body. Gomez looking tired, his hands down low, not defending himself, but then pops a right that scored. That was a sneaky right. But those body shots earlier by Gomez seemed so effective. You wonder why he doesn't go downstairs more often.
Well, he's been going downstairs since then, but he's doing it with big hooks, one at a time, and wildly, telegraphing every shot. And that's just not going to get it done. Laszlo's a little too smart, a little too quick for that. Now that famous saying starting to come into effect, fatigue makes cowards of us all. Right now, Gomez is a little on the scared side because he's tired.
And he has had his bouts of confidence problems as well over the course of his career. He's 23 and 3, 13 knockouts. He's won 19 in a row, hasn't lost since September of 1997. He's in a tremendous division, highly competitive, ultra talented. Look out.
That was a push.
No question about it, just before the bell, no knockdown.
We're going to stop it, mate.
No, Brain.
Come here. Come here, Michael.
Get your head up.
Don't look at beat, man. Will you stop it?
Brain, man.
I know you're full, but you've either got to stop it, got to stop the fight, you carry on. Put your head back.
Mister. Come on, Michael. You don't deserve a swing the way you're going on. You're a fucking man in the middle of the ring.
At the end of the round, you see a little bit of a wrestling match goes in the corner. Laszlo just kind of pushed him off and pushed him down almost through the ropes. They get tangled up, and you see his feet, although you can't really see it there. The foot of Gomez got caught underneath the southpaw again. Southpaw comes forward with the right foot, left foot. The Orthodox fighter, they cross up sometimes. This is what happens.
And that was a clean left hand by Bognar prior to all the pushing and shoving and tangling of feet. So here we go into round number 9. Again, Brian Hughes very, very displeased with his fighter, Michael Gomez. Says, put your head back. He's been at times leading with his chin very dangerously. Bognar actually looking stronger now as the fight gets deeper. He's throwing more punches and backing Gomez up.
Gomez leapt in there with a good left hook that landed pretty crisp. But on the inside, he gets tied up. His hands are not working. Laszlo gets to tie him up at will.
This is certainly not the Michael Gomez the fans here know and love.
See there, he bends over, Steve, right there. He bends over, comes in with his hands up. A couple of punches ring off the top of his head or his gloves, and he does nothing. He cannot win that one.
And there's a left hand by Bognar, and Gomez is ready to go.
The referee stops it.
It's stopped. It's over. The referee, Dave Parrish, has stopped the fight, and we've got an upset here in England. Laszlo Bognar taking this fight on 6 days' notice, beating Michael Gomez, the #1 WBO 130-pound contender here in his own backyard of Widnes, England.
And Steve, when the referee walked Gomez back to his corner, he still looked shaky when he got away on the other side of the ring. Something he saw, I guess, in the eyes, because he could have called that a knockdown. He didn't have to stop it.
It was a little surprising at first that it was stopped. But now the medics are checking in the corner, and this could be somewhat of a knee-jerk reaction to the unfortunate Paul Engel incident, because they're very sensitive here in Great Britain now after that situation back in December.
You know, that could be a shame because a lot of different things could happen. Fighters could lose fights, championships could change hands because of panic by referees because of that unfortunate incident with Engel.
Engel received a blood clot at the hands of Laszlo Botille back in December. And now, how do you like this for rubbing it in? The Hungarian Laszlo Bognar putting on the sombrero, and I don't think that will sit too well with the local fans here, the Michael Gomez fans.
No.
How do you like that? Quite an upset, as little known, unheralded. Laszlo Bognar of Hungary beats the very popular Michael Gomez here in Gomez's home area of England. Big surprise, the loss ending a 19-fight win streak for Gomez, and of more significance, damages his ranking as the WBO's #1 junior lightweight contender.
Yeah, he has to lose that ranking after getting beat. Not only beat pretty good and stopped. I think that ranking was right out the window.
Gomez falls to 23-4. His first loss since September of 1997. Meanwhile, Bognar goes to 26-3-2 with 12 knockouts, not known as a knockout guy. He beats the #1 contender on his own turf. What a disappointing night for hometown favorite Michael Gomez. Most unexpected. Unofficially, 1-minute TKO round 9 for this man, Laszlo Bognar. Turns 33 in just a couple of weeks while he gives himself an early birthday present. The southpaw had frustrated Gomez throughout the night. How disappointing this young man must be right now.
Yeah, he was very excited about the Showtime coverage. He was very excited about proving to the world and the people of the boxing industry that he deserves to be #1. He was very high on his fight and looking forward to a great performance, and he sure did not have one tonight.
Gomez's loss to Bognar, large part due to his inability to neutralize Bognar's jab. We're set to go up to our ring announcer, Jimmy Leonard.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a time of 1 minute even in round number 9. Our referee in charge, Dave Paris, stops the contest. The winner by way of technical knockout and the new WBO Intercontinental Junior Lightweight Champion, Laszlo Bognar.
Well, there it is. It's in the books for Laszlo Bognar. Wins that marginal WBO title in upset fashion. And some of these fans here just stunned by the unexpected outcome. Bognar was actually knocked down earlier in the fight on a left hook to the body, but watch this. How things can change, Bobby.
You know, Bognar catches him with a good left hand. There's a jab, and there's a little bit of a headbutt, but that's the left hand. And you could see all of a sudden the legs come out from under him. He can barely stand. And the ropes, if they were not there, he would have wound up in the first row. Gomez had no legs after that left hand to the temple. Here's another look at it. There's a jab. They almost bang heads. Then here comes the left hand. He never sees it. Just comes right around the gloves, and it really takes everything out of him.
Just short-circuited, as you might say, right?
Pretty much. You know, and it really, many times, the punches you don't see hurt the most.
Were you a little surprised when Paris stopped it so fast?
I really was. And here we can see, look at it from the backside, and there it is, right on the temple and jaw side. Left hand. Not a big puncher, Bognar, so you wouldn't expect these results.
Well, they came here to salute and cheer this guy, Michael Gomez, and he winds up in the arms of referee Dave Paris in defeat. And this guy exults. His name is Laszlo Bognar, and he's from Hungary, and he just pulled off a big upset. He's got the sombrero on, which is what Michael Gomez is famous for here in England. I don't think he was really trying to rub it in, but some might construe it that way. So Laszlo Bognar with a big upset over Michael Gomez here in Gomez's own backyard. Don't forget, coming up next, our main event, the WBO is famous for here in England. I don't think he was really trying to rub it in, but some might construe it that way. So Laszlo Bognar with a big upset over Michael Gomez here in Gomez's own backyard. Don't forget, coming up next, our main event, the WBO Junior Middleweight Championship. As undefeated, Harry Simon takes on local product Wayne Alexander. Taking into the dressing room of the champion, Harry Simon, with trainer Ariel Malachi. He's a national hero in Namibia, is Simon. Namibia's first boxing champ, first boxer to represent that country at the Olympics, although he didn't medal at the '92 Barcelona Games. A memorable victory tonight to make some noise in the division is what he wants, even if it's against a late substitute in Wayne Alexander. And now we're back ringside with the victorious Laszlo Bognar. And Laszlo is with his manager and translator, Felix Raz. And Felix, if you can first ask Laszlo for us, what was going through his mind entering this fight on just 6 days' notice, and tell us about the outcome. How surprised was he himself by what he was able to pull off here tonight?
Kérdeztem, mi a véleményed arról, hogy 6 nappal előtte sikerült ezt a lehetőséget megkapnod, akkor mit éreztél igazán, mert a mérkőzés miatt?
Hát először is nagyon örültem ennek a lehetőségnek, már csak azért is, mert január 2-a óta nagyon komoly alapozó edzéseket végeztem, és úgy éreztem, hogy föl vagyok rá készülve. Kicsit az edzőpartnerrel való kesztyűzés kevés volt, de úgy gondoltam, hogy így is meg fogom nyerni ezt a mérkőzést.
Okay.
He was not prepared for this fight. We started to train in 2nd of January, and so he was only prepared, only training. So we didn't know, that opportunity. So we've got, 6 days before, and we was upset a little bit about the opportunity, but we take the fight. It's anytime, every time, it's a chance.
Well, he upset the #1 contender here in the WBO, and he's in a very talented and highly competitive division with some great names like Mayweather and Casamayor and Freitas. Who's next for Laszlo?
We think, first of all, so we don't want to go too much ahead, you have to defend, first of all, his title 1 or twice, and after we think about, Freitas or Mayweather, it's a little bit too much for us for the moment. But, we try to keep the title and the belt.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you taking the time. Congratulations, Laszlo, and best of luck to you.
Thank you very much.
All right, Felix, thank you very much. Appreciate your time. And we are 1 down with 1 to go here in Widnes, England. Before we get to our main event, here's what's coming up on pay-per-view and Showtime Championship Boxing.
Some of boxing's biggest names in one spectacular night of fight, starting with John Ruiz. He's got a score to settle with 4-time heavyweight champion Evander Holyfield.